And just to start,
I hate popular shit. That's a remake. It's not a prequel.
how is it not a prequel? You're in the airplane. That's an action movie.
There gotta be some hand-to-hand combat at some point.
That's what love and romantic movies are about. It would be probably in my top 5. Maybe. It's a pretty good list. If anyone's confused, shit out of luck.
Sorry, my Prada's in the cleaners, along with my hoodie and my you flip-flops, you pretentious douchebag.
Welcome back to Pretentious Douchebag Movie Talk. JP here. WSO boom.
WSO.
Tonight we got a classic rewind. And on tonight's agenda, 2008 satirical action comedy, Tropic Thunder. Directed and co-written by Ben Stiller. Starring Sir Ben Stiller, Jack Black, and Robert Downey Jr. And just want to quickly say, Robert Downey Jr., hell of a 2008, because Iron Man came out, I think, like 4 months before this. That's wild. And then a year later,
thing just now
yeah,
is one of our little segments that we plan on. When you said Jet Black, that was one of my replacements for the movie.
Oh, what? All right, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Good tease. Good tease.
I did not know that was him.
What? Oh, here we go. I already started.
No, I was replacing Jet Black with Jet Black. I didn't know that was him.
You didn't know that was Jack Black the whole movie?
No, I was like, they went and got a knockoff Jack Black. Like, what the hell is going on? And I'm dead serious. I wrote, they need to replace this fat white dude with Jet Black.
Jack Black, right? Are you saying his name
Jack
wrong?
Black.
Okay. That's
Oh my
epic.
God.
Thank you for
I
starting.
am
the
crying
podcast
right now. You don't
Thank
understand.
Thank you. And we got to watch it in real time right here. Woso did not know that was Jack Black, and he is the second billing of the movie. He's on the poster, right in the middle.
I didn't find no poster. What?
Oh, that's epic. Oh man. Okay, where were we? You know how to throw me off. But it's worth it for those moments. We got to see that moment in real time. Ah, that's great. Made $200 million at the box office. Nominated for 1 Oscar. What do you think it would be?
This is real. It was really nominated for Oscar in real life.
It was nominated for 1 Oscar.
I don't know.
Robert Downey Jr., Best Supporting Actor.
For
How
playing
wild
a black
is that?
man. That's crazy.
Oh, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But we got to start with how the movie starts, which is what happens before the movie. We have a commercial and 4 fake trailers, which I thought was a brilliant idea in the theater. And it's amazing how a lot of people, including my mother, legitimately thought they were real trailers. And she's like, what is going on here? These movies look terrible. I'm like, you know those were fake, right? Oh.
I ain't gonna lie. I was watching it. I was like, yo, I think I got the wrong one. And I had I'm like, no, this don't start like this. Then when I realized it started like this, I was like, cool concept.
Well, because they throw the green screen at you, like this upcoming trailer.
Yes.
And if you're just kind of not paying attention, you're like, oh, this is a real trailer.
It was cool concept. They got me on that one.
So the first one was Booty Sweat / Bust a Nut by Al Pacino. Now that's one I don't remember. I don't think they had that in the movie theater when I went and saw it. I think that they put that on a little later because I really don't remember that. But I remember the other trailers. We got Scorcher 6, Global Meltdown. We got The Fatties Part 2, and Satan's Alley. Do me a favor and rank them from, well, least funny to funny, 4 to 1.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't think any of those was funny except for the Booty Sweat one.
Are you kidding me? Okay.
And the one that I would say was close to funny is the Satan's Alley.
Satan's Alley.
I will put it is number 1, Booty Sweat, then Satan's Alley, and then I'm putting Ben Stiller with Scorcher 6, and then I'm putting Fatties.
So we're close. I got the Fatties Part 2 last. I mean, it's just a bunch of fart jokes, but I got to give him a little credit when he says in some countries it's considered a compliment. It's a good line. It's a good line. Scorcher 6, it starts with them like throwing back to him doing Scorcher 1, and then you got the classic trailer voice guy who made a living for 30 years doing it back when we had In a World, and he's like, and again, Earth called upon him, and again, and Scorcher 4 and 5 and 6, at least they kind of change it up by it's freezing with a global meltdown, and Stiller gets the line off, "Who let the fridge open?" Yeah, how do you not find that funny? You're bugging. That's good. But I'm with you. Satan's Alley. So you kind of get a glimpse into Kirk Lazarus, which is Robert Downey's actor in this movie, and they bring up how he's a 5-time Academy Award winner, and it looks like this old school 1800s Christian movie. Looks very serious, and you got Tobey Maguire there. It's like, oh, okay. And they're saying is like a 5-time Academy Award winner, Kirk Lazarus. MTV Movie Award winner for Best Kiss.
That was funny.
Tobey Maguire.
I laughed at that right there. I laughed.
Shout out to Tobey Maguire for doing that, because you're totally getting laughed at for that. So shout out to him. And again, he starts touching the pearls on the other, and the music starts.
Rosary.
Yep, the music starts. It's got like a porno vibe to it, and then calling it Satan's Alley is that's wild.
You calling the rosary pearls are wild. That is crazy.
I'm relapsed. So okay, so you brought it up. Let's have the Robert Downey Jr. conversation first before we get into the categories. So he is playing an Australian actor in this world that is portraying a black man. And the famous line in the movie,
"I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude."
It's kind of a line everyone remembers. Yes. This would never happen right now. We all know that. But
I think it could.
My first question is, do you have a problem with it?
Kinda, yeah, until you watch the movie with the dialogue between him and Brandon T. Jackson.
Bingo. Again, I shouldn't have an opinion on this, but I do. I do.
Without that dialogue, and without that dialogue, because it's like he didn't take a role from like an actual black person. He is like the jokes with him, and not the jokes. Well, when Brandon T. Jackson get on him about like I had to represent because they let the role for the only black man to a white man. So,
yeah, they constantly call this out. It's not like they hide from it. It's not like he's just playing a black guy and they're like, hey, that's it. Like they're constantly calling it out, how it was controversial for him to do the pigment stuff. It wasn't just blackface where they're literally just painting him. Like he did this whole surgery because he's a method actor, and then he just stays in character throughout the whole movie. And they're like, why are you doing this? You can stop. And he's like, I don't stop until I do the DVD commentary.
Oh my God. Yo, like the best parts of this movie is him and Brandon T. Jackson.
It's so good.
Them two, their dialogue with each other. When he called him, what do you call him? A koala hunting motherfucker. Like, what do you call him?
Dingo ate your baby. So yeah, he's drilling the Australian stuff, and it just, like I said, they don't shy away from it. It's not meant to be racist. It's not meant to be.
Nah. What he said.
It's not a
what
great
you mean
look.
we? He said, what you mean you people?
I don't believe you people.
Huh? What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people?
Huh?
What you mean you people?
That was on one of my best lines. One.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. That's going to happen when we're talking about this. It's fine. Yeah, I mean, that was in the trailer. And I remember the first time I saw that in the theater, that the theater just laughed out loud. Like, what do you mean, you people? And he
You
goes,
people.
huh? He goes, huh?
No, that's what he called them. He said a koala hunting ass nigga, and he slapped them for 100 years
They've been using that name against us.
to hold us down. He said,
And then he kept going, and he kept going, and then he's like, that's the theme song from the Jeffersons.
but it's still true.
It's so good.
That's the only funny shit about that movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so I mentioned that Robert Downey was nominated for Best Supporting Actor that year. Do you know who he lost to?
Mm-mm.
I'm going to give you a hint. He's currently standing behind you.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Heath Ledger won for the Joker.
Oh, that's obvious.
So it's one of those. I always remember him being nominated, and I feel like I always struggle with. I remember actors and actresses, but supporting can get jumbled in my head, especially as the years go by. It's 2008, and it's been a minute, and I'm like, man, it would have been really fun for him to win something like this. And then I look up, I'm like, oh no, never mind, I get it. No way, Heath had it in the bag.
No way.
Dead
No
or
way,
alive.
Jose.
Dead or alive. A lot of people
we
like
go.
to say they only gave it to him because he died.
Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. They were bugging.
Okay, so on the other end, we might have a controversial take here. I don't know who's the controversial take, though. I don't know if it's going to be yours or mine. Let's talk about Ben Stiller in this. So again,
Trash.
he co-wrote it, directed it, and starred in it. Not an easy thing to do. Something that he's never done before. He never wrote a movie, and he never directed a movie. So I'm giving him a whole lot of credit because he's the director. This is a good movie. I love this movie.
It's crazy, but you don't give Adam Sandler that credit.
He's never directed a good movie.
You-
I said good movie.
He got great ones.
He's never directed those.
He didn't.
No, he didn't
It's his
direct.
company.
Yeah, he produces it, but he's not directing it.
Same thing.
No, it's not the same thing. It's definitely not. Okay, so I'm with you that I think Ben Stiller is not that great. I think he's good in Meet the Parents. I don't like him in Zoolander. I think he's okay in Starsky and Hutch, but for the most part, he plays the same guy over and over again. I like him in Tropic Thunder because he's playing a character that he knows is dumb. It's a fourth wall kind of thing where I think he's really good at playing the dumb action star who's trying to be different. He can't cry. He's always getting upset. He's trying to run the show because he thinks this is a real movie going on. I think he does a really good job in it.
No, Ben Stiller sucks, and everything he does sucks. The only reason why Meet the Parents is good is because of my boy. You already know.
Robert Downey
Robert Downey ain't in Meet the Parents.
or Robert De Niro. Yeah, him
Robert
too.
De Niro.
I had Robert in my head, and I just kept going. I'm like, nope, that ain't it.
But Ben Stiller, he sucks. You know who, besides Jet Black? I keep calling him Jet Black.
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know. I know his name.
That's so weird. That's like a hiccup you got.
Jack Black. Besides putting him in the movie, I was gonna put Ryan Reynolds as Ben Stiller's character. The movie is way better and funnier. Ben Stiller didn't pull off no funny parts.
In 2008?
Yep.
I don't know, man. So when the opening shot where it's the actual movie part, and then they come to, his arms have exploded, and Robert Downey, and they're talking, and he's like doing all those facial expressions to try to cry, and he can't do it. And you got Robert Downey like literally drooling over himself because he can cry so easily, and he's pushing it. And he's just like, cut. Can we cut? And I don't know how you don't like that.
But it don't get funny until Robert Downey stands up and then start talking about him. When he talk about he can't cry and all that. That's the funny part.
That's fair, but I think it's easier to sometimes be the side character in comedies. But when you're the main part of it, which he is, you can't just you kind of
He's
gotta
supposed
keep
to
the
play
movie
in funny
going.
movies, and none of his movies are funny. And all the funny parts in his movie is not because of him, except for when he throw that baby over the bridge. That is hilarious.
Yeah, that's another scene that killed
When he
in the
said, "I was
theater.
wrong,"
I was wrong.
That was funny.
Stabbing him in
Yeah.
the back.
Now that was funny.
Maybe I have a low threshold, a low bar for him. So maybe I'm like, oh, this is actually pretty decent for him. So maybe I'm giving him too much credit. But I think he's good in this.
I'm just mad that I watched so many of his movies, and like and that's how when I was watching his movie, I was like, oh, it's this a comedy. I know it's not funny because most comedies that I think is funny, I watch more than once, and this was my second time watching this movie, so it couldn't have been funny to me, in my opinion.
So the idea of replacing an actor, I like that concept. It's something I'd probably have to think about a little harder to actually come up with somebody good. Because Ryan Reynolds in 2008 maybe wasn't the Ryan Reynolds you know, is
Ain't that's
now.
like Green Lantern around that time?
Oh, that's not a good idea then. I'm just saying.
No, but I'm saying, I just think he's more wittier than Ben Stiller. Like, Ben Stiller is not witty. He's corny, and
But
it's not good. He's a knockoff Will Ferrell. Like
know
he's
who-
a wannabe Will Ferrell.
I feel like Will Smith might have been a good. It wouldn't have worked because of Robert Downey. You don't think Will Smith in that finally playing like the fourth wall, kind of breaking it down, being a bad actor on purpose? I don't know. I think it could have been okay, but it wouldn't have worked. You
We
needed
need
a white guy.
man. Come on,
you needed
bro.
a white guy. I agree.
A
Well, Will
white
Smith.
dude that's funny, and the only one I give is him, because I don't think no one around that time. I couldn't think
Jim-
of no one else around that time that could fit that role besides Steve Carell. But Steve Carell, not
No.
that I don't like him in that role.
Because he's supposed to be an action star, right? So you kind of
Yes.
have to pull that off a little bit. That's why I don't think Jim Carrey could have done it. I don't
Nope.
think Will Ferrell could have done it.
I think
There were-
Ryan Reynolds.
Maybe
Told
2008.
you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little
Yeah.
young. It's a little young, but he's supposed to be an older actor too. So, all right, let's get into the funniest scenes. I wrote down 3 of them. The director exploding from the landmine and everything that happened after that, I think, is just brilliant. Because again, Stiller thinks it's real or not real, and he pulls the head up. They all start throwing up.
Let's start
He's literally,
pulling it.
he's like, yeah, corn syrup, and he's just he's like eating his neck, and he's like, yeah, warm corn syrup. Yep. And Robert Downey the whole time is like, I don't know about this. I think
But
it's just
the
it's a good scene.
To me, the best part of that scene is when it pans to the Viets. Well, I don't know how to say it.
I think it's actually the Laos. I think they're in
The
Laos. Jason.
I thought they're in Vietnam.
Well, they remember they
Viet
talk
Cong.
later. They talk later about how they're outside of Vietnam now, and now they're in like bordering countries that aren't like Vietnam's not. You know, what I mean? So I think they say Laos is one of them. They're just not sure, but
Okay, well,
Yeah.
the Asian man, when he said they're not scared of anything, like
they have
that
no
is
fear.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They-
that is the funny part to me.
Well, he puts the head on the spike and starts like talking to it with the accent and everything.
I'm laughing because you laughing.
That's funny. My second scene is the campfire at night before they go in and rescue him. So you got Jack Black tied up to the tree because he's going through withdrawal, and they're just sitting around talking about, has anyone got a, they're talking about the love interest, like the white guy's like, I hope this movie's gonna get me laid, but and they're kind of going around the bend there, and we get to Al Pacino talking about, hey, I got a special thing over there at home, and they're like, oh, what's her name?
What's the name?
Lance.
Listen here, Lance. Lance. What the fuck did I just hear, Lance?
Lance. No, I said Nance.
Nah, the Jet Black.
Oh yeah. Well, so yeah, that's when he's like, it's Hollywood. We're all gay once in a while. So, and then Jet Black coming in with the line that I can't repeat on here.
I'll cradle the balls, stroke the shaft, work the pipe, and swallow the gravy. Get it over here, buddy. Let's do this.
That whole scene is incredible.
Oh my god.
But I think you're not going to disagree here. There's only one scene, and it's the scene that I think has stood the test of time for this movie, for good and bad. I can't say the word, so I'm just gonna say never go full R. I think that's
Developmentally delayed.
sure. There you go. Never go developmentally delayed. I think that is that back and forth is some of the best written comedy of the last 30 years. Because again, they're still talking about Hollywood and they're talking about Simple Jack, the movie that Ben Stiller did. And Robert Downey's just like, yeah, man, you know, just diving into it.
Let me stop you real quick. That was funny what he did in it. What the parts with him acting with the horse, I mean with the lady. So like that's funny. Okay, I'll give you that. But that's because I think everybody in those movies that act like that is funny. But
so they're talking about it, and yeah, you could tell Robert Downey is making fun of him to his face because he knows it was a terrible, terrible choice to do. And at the very end, he's like, yeah, especially knowing, you know, the Academy's not about that. And Stiller's like, wait, what? He's like, oh, you don't know? And then you get in the whole spiel about how Tom Hanks won for Forrest Gump, Dustin Hoffman won for Rain Man. They mentioned another one quickly too. That's going back a little bit, but it's because they are mentally challenged, but they can count cards, can play ping pong, charm the pants off Nixon. That's what he says. But he's like, you never go full R. Go ask Sean Penn. I Am Sam went home empty-handed. And it's one of those like, oh my God, it's true. So not only is it really clever, but it's true. And it's just this whole thought, man, full R, it's stood the test of time for this movie. Do you got any other funnier scenes?
oh, the funniest scene to me, we already said it about the 400 years. And
Okay.
the whole anything with Brandon T. Jackson, which I don't even like him because he's one of them corny, and he's too corny in movies for me.
Mhm.
But he was perfect for this movie in this role, with him in the back and forth with Robert Downey Jr. That was perfect, man.
Yeah. I think they got legitimately 3 scenes together when they're talking, and it's great each time. What
Yeah,
else is he
each
in?
time. Say that again.
What else is he in?
Brandon T. Jackson.
Yeah, what else would I know him from? Because
I know he's Big Mama's House is uh the third one. You probably never seen that. Brandon T. Jackson. You ever see Percy Jackson? Oh man. You ever see Lottery Ticket?
no,
Hold up. You never seen Road Bounce either, did you?
nope. I legitimately only know him from this movie.
Oh, you never seen none of his good movies.
So it's kind of funny.
Nah.
You kept saying his name. I thought you were going to call him Al Pacino throughout this whole, but you keep calling his name. I'm like, oh, I realize I don't know him.
He was in Ali. He was young. I think he
Oh,
was
okay.
one of the kids.
Mhm.
Oh, you did? You don't know my boy?
I
That's
don't.
crazy.
No, he's Al Pacino to me. That's it. All right, I wrote down 2 favorite recurring themes in this movie. We got Matthew McConaughey as Tug Speedman's, was he his manager, pretty much, his
Yeah,
agent?
he's his
The,
agent. Yeah.
yeah, the whole TiVo theme that they keep coming back to. Wait, have you gotten your TiVo yet? Oh, they didn't get the TiVo? And then they show up at the end, he's got the TiVo in the hand. It's just a small little joke that they just kept bringing back, but it gets him more in the movie, which I'm a big fan of. And the movie that this is based off of, Four Leaf, which is played by Nick Nolte, where he's got 2 hooks for hands in the first, half hour, and then you find out they're fake. And every time a character learns that he has hands, they all freak out. You got hands? You grew hands?
You grew hands?
Every time. It's the one thing that consistently made my wife laugh every time. Where'd you get hands? Every time.
Right though. That is funny. and I forgot. Shout out to my boy. He's funny too. I love all his scenes.
Danny McBride?
The one that he was with. That was
Yeah, we'll
blowing
get
shit
there.
up.
Yep, we'll get there. Next category. Best use of the F word. You got anything for this?
No.
So we haven't even talked about it yet, which is wild. Tom Cruise. as the head of.
You
Oh my
froze?
god. No, I'm watching. I am watching the greatest moment of my life happen here. We're recording, right? Everybody,
Who? Wait,
this is how many times have you seen this movie?
2.
These are the first 2 times you've ever watched it.
This is my second time. Well, this is
Okay.
3.
This movie came out in 2008. Also saw it when it came out. He just watched it this weekend, and
Twice.
he doesn't know Tom Cruise was in this movie. This is the
Wait,
greatest moment of my life. It's
you
the greatest
gotta
moment
tell
of my life.
Which part? Wait, Tom Cruise. Wait, hold on. I'm dead serious. Let me see. I'm thinking.
I could not be happier. This is actually happening. This is the best one you've ever had, where you didn't know somebody was somebody. Oh my god, dude! I almost
Tom
called you
Cruise
by
in
your
this
real name.
movie?
I almost called you by your real name.
No, I'm dead ass. Tom Cruise in this movie? I don't
He's the
remember.
head of the studio. The half bald
The
fat
bald
dude.
dude? That's Tom Cruise?
You don't believe me, do you? Yes.
You know what's funny? I was gonna look up the cast right before we started so I could know that fat white dude name.
I'm so glad you didn't.
Nah, this nigga wild and Tom Cruise. No wonder why the movie did so good.
When he does the dancing and all the swearing, like that's why it was. Now you see it.
I just said Les Grossman. That's his
Les
name.
Grossman. Listen, you're not the only one to first. Like I'm going back in time. Like they're like, oh my god, that was Tom Cruise. Like people didn't know it until you stayed to the end when he's doing the dance, and then they're going over, the people's names in it, and then they show Tom Cruise the name with him. They're all like, that was him. But I just knew because I read about it. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. That's Tom Cruise. It's a completely different character. He's never done anything like this. You not knowing,
bro. I thought that was the dude from one of my favorite kid movies.
17
when he turned
years.
blue.
Paul Giamatti.
I don't know his name.
I know who you're talking about. With Malcolm in the Middle.
Yes.
Agent Cody Banks.
Yes. I thought that was him.
Oh, this is amazing.
Now I see it a little bit. He even got a fake nose. See, they got that one. That was good.
If you go watch his scenes now, you will totally see it. Trust me. Just go watch.
I see it in the pictures.
Yeah.
Once you told me.
Yeah.
Nah.
So, to encapsulate this, the best use of the F word when he's on the phone with the terrorists, as he called them, the ones that took Tug Speedman, and he goes,
First, take a big step back and literally fuck your own face!
Okay, so speaking of that, I got 5 best lines. We got Danny McBride right as he's exploding during the movie and says, "Big ass titties." It just makes me laugh every time. That's just a perfect Danny McBride little scene right before he throws this giant fireball up. We got "Pump Your Brakes, Kid." That's a national treasure. Robert Downey talking about
Crocodile Dundee.
Crocodile Dundee.
That's a real baby.
We got what we talked about earlier. What do you mean, you people? Classic. Another Robert Downey at the end when he kind of screwed up, and they're like, "What kind of farmer are you? A poppy farmer or a?" And he's like, "I'm a lead farmer, motherfucker." Now this one, This one probably doesn't even make you laugh. I feel like it's just one that I've seen over and over again, but it's my funniest line because I think it makes no sense, and they call it out on it. But it's Robert Downey playing that character to a T, and it's when the one guy, they're trying to talk about how they're going to go down and save him. And he's like, it's just like the wet offensive. You guys all read the book, right? And they're all like, nah. Oh, well, that's okay because the script is based off the book. So you all read the script, right?
You guys all read the script, right?
I don't read script. Script reads me.
What the hell does that even mean?
I don't read the script. The script reads me. I wish I could say that more in just life in general, but it doesn't really call for it. I love that line so much. He says it so confidently.
Because he the best part of that movie, man.
Yes,
Him
he is.
and Brandon T. Jackson. I don't care. Like them two.
Well, I was just gonna say, who stole the movie? That was my next category, and I wrote Tom Cruise, Matthew McConaughey, or Danny McBride. And I say stole as a category as not being part of the main cast. You kind of side characters that like scene steal. And I think Dan McBride's pretty good. It's kind of his first big movie. Gets a couple shining moments, like you said, especially when he's arguing with Four Leaf. It's pretty good. He just calls him a draft dodger and everything. He's pretty funny.
He's funny.
Yeah. Matthew McConaughey, I actually don't remember him being that good till I rewatched it, where he's playing Wii tennis while talking to him. He's got the simple jack, like the moving poster in his. I just think he kind of keeps the movie going along, trying to decide whether to save his friend or have a G5, like that somber moment. Even my wife laughed at that one, like, oh, what should I pick? But it's Tom Cruise. I'm sorry, Tom Cruise. The fact that you don't even know who that is, but that character, everyone kind of knows it for this movie. It's so out of place for him to be a swearing, fat, balding guy dancing to apple bottom jeans.
Oh no! At the end when he started dancing, that was funny. Bro, I swear I thought I was that dude so to this whole day. Damn. I got my boy Brandon T. Jackson. I don't know I said his name too much out here. Every scene he was in, he stole it, bro.
I know. I just think he's in it too much. We'll start. This is our first time doing this, so we'll kind of start establishing some rules.
So he can't be a scene stealer.
He's in the movie too much, though. I don't know. He's part of the main group. Part of the main group. Now, before we get to the next one, did you like Jack Black in this movie?
No, that's why I said I would have traded him for Jet Black.
Which is wild because I don't know. I think he gets to be Jack Black. He gets to be a heroin addict, so he gets to do all the twitching, and he's always. I don't know.
You know what I realized? I don't like Jack Black, except for
School of Rock.
You know it. Like that's funny you said it. Like that's classic.
Yeah, that's his GOAT. I mean, that'll never be touched. But I don't know. I think he doesn't have much to do in here. He's kind of supposed to be just the comedic presence, but being a meth
off Jet Black.
Being a meth addict, I think, is pretty good. My jelly beans. He literally grabs the bat and starts biting him.
That was crazy. That was
he starts drinking like the nasty water. Like, oh,
that is crazy. Yeah, but I don't know. Like I like that scene, like you said, around the campfire. Like that was that made me like laugh out loud.
And it's his, yeah, and that's his line, Lance.
But other than that, I thought that was not damn. That messed me up. I did not know that was Jet Black.
Did you do a needle drop? Best needle drop.
What's a
trying
needle
to throw
drop?
some music. Best needle drop. Did you not know what that meant when I wrote it to you? So best song in the movie. So for the best needle drop at Tropic Thunder, I wrote down 3. You got Run Through the Jungle by CCR, Sympathy for the Devil by the Rolling Stones. But I thought the best needle drop was when they first decide that they're gonna throw him into the shit and get this to be a real movie when they're on the beach and they're yelling at each other and they're like, yeah. And then it goes right to them in the helicopter and Name of the Game by the Crystal Method is playing.
That was
pretty good. Like it's a perfect song to keep the movie rolling. And now it's a completely changed. You change the tone and everything. That was a perfect.
It was like a good song. 5 shot of all of them. It was like it was perfect.
Yeah, that was a good one. Scene that could have been cut.
The whole movie with Ben Stiller.
Oh.
If I'm accepting him in this book, it's crazy that this movie got all these people in it, and it is a classic. It's like y'all love it. But I think like with all these people, it could have been way better. But a scene that could have been cut.
It doesn't. So it could be a whole 20 minutes. It could just be one little thing that annoys you. But hold on, I got to defend Stiller one time when he's watching his E True Hollywood thing or the Access Hollywood thing.
No, nah.
And
That
Tyra,
whole thing, whole thing was funny.
Tyra,
someone said it's close to me. Nah.
talk about
He
scene
is
stealing.
So corny. I hate him.
Tyra, a scene stealer. Somebody
Word.
close to you said, "If one more flop, it's over." And he just
Someone said it's
deadpans,
close to me.
looks at him and goes, "Somebody said they're close to me." That is funny. I'm sorry. Okay, so what's the scene you want to cut?
The scene I want to cut is him separating for the group and the whole the panda thing. But it's weird. I don't like that scene with him in the dark and everything, but you don't get the phone call afterwards, which is funny.
Yes.
And he's not funny on it. It's Matthew McConaughey.
Oh my
when
god.
he said
killed
Amanda.
Oh my god, you killed a hooker. Okay, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna get some bleach.
he said she don't have a name. I know you feel close to her right now. But yo, that is funny. But all the scenes up to him while he's the montage of him in there when he's fighting the panda bear, like all that could have been cut out.
I agree with you because I think there's actually maybe it's part of the same montage because then you got the montage of the group walking,
Mm-hmm.
and it's definitely a good 3 minutes. That I guess you just gotta show that like time has moved on and everything, and it's an easy way to do it. And there's a kind of a decent throwaway line where the one nerd is talking about like frame rates and DVD stuff, and just talking, and then Robert Downey,
that was funny.
Yeah, Robert Downey turns around and goes, "Are you talking to me this whole time?"
No, he ain't saying that nice.
Yeah, I know. He's like, "Oh, I'm just whoever's listening."
Who's ever listening?
No,
that part was funny.
I'm with you. I guess you kind of have to have it in there, but it's not great. But there's one scene, and it is literally 3 seconds, but it bothers me every time I watch it. So McConaughey saves the group on the helicopter. They're looking down at him. He's like pumping his fists and everything. And then they have this shot from like way up top that's all CGI, and he just runs into the jungle. And it's so fake that it just bothers me. It's so badly done CGI. It literally looks like an animation from a video game where just this little ant goes running into the jungle. I don't need that. You could just cut that little shot. I don't need to see him running into the jungle.
I thought they did that to be funny.
Oh, it's so bad. It's horrible. Okay, so our second last category for our classic rewinds is, did you watch it with your significant other?
Nope. Not this one.
Not this one. So I watched it with my wife, and she says she watched it. She was pretty sure with me when it first came out, or at least within a year of it coming out. And she said all she really remembers is the Tom Cruise dancing at the end. But it was funny as we were watching. She's like, "Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that." And my wife's pretty difficult to make her laugh on a movie. Now, I'm obviously the funniest person in her life. I make her laugh all the time. But when we watch movies, even when she watches like her favorite TV shows, like unless it's like Friends or Big Bang, someone we watched 1,000 times, she really doesn't laugh, but I know she's enjoying it. She's more of a that's funny person than a laugh out loud person. So she only laughed really like 4 or 5 times in this movie. And she hates the R, full R thing. She can't stand that. So I'm like, man, she's gonna crap all over this when I ask her for her rating out of 5 stars. She gave it 4 out of 5. So I'm like, oh, so she does enjoy it.
That
does me
happy.
Doesn't no, I'm just she just I don't think she needs to laugh out loud to enjoy a movie. She can just enjoy it. And also, shout out to Tropic Thunder. This movie is an hour and 44 minutes long. If it were made today, it'd be 2 hours and
Yep.
40 something minutes. It would be so bloated. I couldn't believe how short of a movie this is.
What you right, because like I ain't gonna lie. When they got to about to get ready to rescue him, I was like,
It's almost over.
I had to check to see how much time was left. I was like, oh, this is the end damn near. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, you got that. But they had to cut it short because they're a bunch of garbage. Like Ben Stiller,
Okay,
bro. He
so
needs to
this
stay away
leads,
from movies.
all right. So this leads to our ratings out of 5 stars. WSO.
I give the actors minus Ben Stiller and Jack Black. I give them a 5. I believe everyone in this movie did a great job, even to the little Asians.
Oh, half squat.
That's funny. But I give it a straight mid, a 3.
That's even high. Oh my god, that's almost more surprising than my wife's. Considering you're like no Stiller, no Jack Black. They're 2 of the 3 main stars of the movie. But like you said, you love Robert Downey in this, and you love Al Pacino. Because I can't remember the guy's name. I could have wrote it down at any point throughout this.
Brandon
Oh.
T. Jackson.
Yeah, he'll always be Al Pacino to me. He's a better actor than the real Al Pacino.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Now we getting hot takes.
Another overrated motherfucker. He's a Ben Stiller of mob movies. Come on, bro.
That's good. All right, so out of 5 stars, I'm giving it 4 out of 5. Still really entertaining. Still, it wasn't as funny as I remember. I'll be honest. I really was like, man, I know all the really funny parts, and there were only a couple that surprised me that I didn't remember. But again, it's a short movie. It's got action. It's got comedy. I also am a big fan of movies about Hollywood. They kind of give you, again, it's not real life, but when they're kind of making fun of themselves, I enjoy it. So like Aviator, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, The Player, which I watched in film class, even the show The Studio that's out right now with Seth Rogen on Apple Plus. It's all about the making of movies. I just kind of, I'm always a big fan of Hollywood, and I'm always a big fan of movies. So I like, even if they're making fun of it, it's kind of a cool way to watch a movie and how they make a movie. So
Yeah,
it's rewatchable for me.
it's not. If I judged off the overhypeness of it, I would have put it at a 2 because it's overrated to me because it's not that. I really had planned. I thought you said it was funnier to Hangover. I was planning on coming and shit on you so bad.
No, I'm not that. I guess I told you it's got classic lines, but there is more nuance than just trying. They weren't trying to make you laugh once a minute. So,
But I even movies like that, like which movies? That's not trying to make you laugh every minute. Bad Boys 1 and 2. Those are hilarious movies. Those movies are funny, and they're not trying to make you laugh every minute.
no, they pick their spots and then they really try to make you laugh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
but
they did good at picking their spots. It's just that Ben Stiller's in it, and he sucks. He
right,
brought
so-
down this movie.
I'm gonna try to edit the film for where Ben Stiller is barely a side character. I'm just gonna make him like he's only got like 3 scenes, and then I'm just gonna give Robert Downey everything he needs to do.
And it's like the cast. This is a great cast. I won't even hold you. Only one I would take out is him because, like I said, I thought Jet Black wasn't. But
I think Jack Black is really funny in this. You were
but
crazy.
you're right because I was gonna put him in there for Jet Black.
I don't. Oh my god. So in this podcast, let's wrap up here. We found out. I think this went pretty well for our first true classic rewind. But all I'm going to remember is Woso wanting to replace Jack Black with Jack Black because he didn't realize that was Jack Black. And that he did not know that Les Grossman was Tom Cruise after 17 years of this movie being out. It's unbelievable. Thank you so much for who you are.
No matter how. One thing is this: I don't read credits. That's one thing I don't. And if it don't pop up in the front of the movie, I'm not watching. I mean, I'm not reading it. And most of the time, like when they show credits, you know what I'm looking at? The scenery. I get lost in the scenery. I get lost in the mountains when if they're going over if a plane going. I'm looking at every piece of the clouds and everything. That's something I like to watch. I don't look at the names. And I could read, bro. I just in case you're like, yo, this guy you can't read. You weren't watching the names.
No, I consider myself like Mr. IMDb. I love that website. It gives you all the cast, like all the little trivia stuff. And I think the first time that I told Woso about IMDb, he thought it was a porn site.